Tonight is March 12th, and this is a live recording of session 33 of our D&D campaign, Dungeons & Drogans. Last session, the Drogans resupplied at Winterhaven, then returned to Shadowfell Keep. They further explored the Keep's second level, opening a pair of double doors to the south to reveal an enormous room with a 20-foot warrior statue and two smaller dragon statues. To the south, an entryway led to another pair of double doors. In that entryway stood four more statues of cherubs holding vases. Rekoj strut into the room, causing the doors to the north to crash shut, followed by the sound of a heavy bolt sliding into place, which effectively locked Rekoj in the dark. The massive statue then began to attack Rekoj. Autumn and Winter eventually managed to unlock the door so that the rest of the Drogans could enter, and they then bypassed the giant statue warrior by walking outside of the reach of its blade. Winter investigated the dragon statues and found that they fire magical energy from their mouths, but again, just don't get close to them and you're fine. Zook, getting the impression that all the statues are dangerous, wanted to find out what the cherubs can do. So he walked past the first two cherub statues. At that point, the four statues of the cherubs tipped their vases downward and released a deluge of water. That's right, a whole deluge. At the same time, transparent walls shimmered into existence, cutting off all avenues of escape for poor Zook. Try as they might, the Drogans could find no way to help Zook from outside of the trap. A whirlpool formed and rocked Zook around, smashing him against the walls. Zook tried to claw at the vases to stop the water. Then Winter noticed an access panel on the warrior statue, and he and Autumn disabled the mechanical trap, but that did nothing to help poor Zook, who was stuck in a magic trap. Zook finally broke one vase, and that one vase stopped releasing water, but with three more to go, things were looking grim for Zook. Autumn teleported into the trap, risking her own life, knowing she would be trapped in there too, risking her own life to try to save Zook. Together, the gnome and Eldrin destroyed two more vases and damaged the fourth, but too little, too late. The two were knocked out by the whirlpool and eventually smashed to death. The surviving party members solemnly kept vigil as the bodies of their friends continued to spin round and round, and after a few minutes, the magic walls vanished and the bodies washed out. Now, before we start tonight's session or have any commentary on that, I'd just like to take a minute. I've prepared some music to commemorate the memory of poor Zook, a little man in a big world who struggled all of his life against terrible fortune, but despite his shortcomings achieved moments of greatness, and the sacrifice Autumn made to try to save him. A selfish rogue who, when the chips were down, demonstrated the heroism of a paladin. And the final tragic moments these two individuals spent together, trapped in a whirlpool, spinning round and round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record.
That is epic music.
I like how it's the Dead or Alive version. That was a good call.
Alright, so that out of the way. Dave, John, you guys have any questions for Doug? Steven and Nick are suspiciously not here tonight. Nick suspiciously absent after killing Zook.
Wait, Nick was in charge of Zook?
Yep.
Yeah, you'd think that it would be Steven that would get himself into that kind of trouble, but no, Steven wouldn't have jumped in there. No, wait. No, it's not even Steven, it's whatchamacallit, John.
Wait a minute, John was
Steven,
absent last session.
Well, Steven would never make Autumn jump in there anyways.
He did though, which was so surprising. At first he didn't want to. In fact, to quote him, he said, and I quote, "That puts my own ass at risk, which is not worth it in the long run."
Ah, that's the guy that we know.
But then after he had that change of heart, and went in there and died for Zook, or for nothing, but it was a valiant effort. No one could deny that.
Yeah. While the rest of us sat around and cried.
Right. Just out of curiosity, why didn't anyone else jump into this trap thing?
'Cause we couldn't.
Autumn teleported in. There was a magic wall, a transparent wall, so she could teleport through.
Uh-huh.
But it was a one-way ticket, since she could only do that once per encounter.
Yeah, that kind of sucks for her. You sure that we couldn't have, like, broken the wall or something? Because, I mean, I do have, like, 20 strength, right?
Yeah, we tried everything. I even cheated, and it didn't do any good.
Did you try to throw a cat at it?
Yes. I threw Zook while he was in his lynx form on the other side of the wall, from the other side of the wall, across the wall.
Alright, so Doug's gonna be controlling Coltane, right?
Yes, sir. I'm going from a glorious leader to a incompetent leader.
And John, I'll give you, well, Autumn's dead, but I believe we established... I believe we established between the sessions that Zook does not want to be rezzed, but Autumn does. So with 2 dead party members, I'm guessing the plan is to return to Winterhaven with the corpses.
Hell no, this is the time to level up, because we don't have to share the XP with them. Or the loot.
Well, fair enough, if you guys want to keep going, that's fine. Speaking of which, XP, yeah, just a minute. So you were, what, 5 characters? You each receive 130 XP. Well, just for the 3 surviving members.
So Autumn gets none?
Autumn gets none. Not that 130 XP is a lot, this encounter was classified as easy.
Yes, an easy encounter and 2 people die.
Well, it would have been easy if at least 2 people had been stuck in the whirlpool thing from the get-go.
Or if anyone other than Zook had been stuck in there.
Yeah, it's just bad luck. More than anything else.
And bad design choices by the creators of this module. Okay, so last session we calculated that you guys definitely have enough funds among you guys to raise 1 character from the dead. My suggestion, you guys can do whatever you want, but use all of Zook's money, and the rest, divide it how you see fit. Maybe if you want, take all of Autumn's. She can't complain about it. And she did get her signing bonus just for joining the Drogans. Didn't you guys give her money just for joining?
Yeah, I don't fully recall how much we gave though.
Yeah, sounds good to me. What's the cost for a res?
The cost for a res is 500 gold pieces plus 680 gold pieces, for a total of 1,180 gold pieces. How much coin did Zook have on him?
203.2.
That leaves 977 gold pieces for the rest of you to cough up.
Well, how much did Autumn have?
And Autumn has 408.
Oh, no, that's not that bad.
So you're gonna use all of her money to res her?
Oh yeah. That's what Coltane, as the inglorious leader, suggests. And Winter agrees with him. And so Rekoj is outvoted.
God damn it.
Doesn't matter what he... I don't know what Rekoj wanted to do.
Can't we pay some kind of wizard and turn Autumn into like an undead servant that we can push around? Or maybe a golem. A flesh golem.
Coltane doesn't think that would be fun. And Winter doesn't think she would be as attractive in that state.
Alright, just before we make any decisions about how to pay for the res, just remember that what you decide here is going to be setting the precedent for future resurrections. If you do it this way, then that pretty much means that anytime someone dies, all of their own money that they have goes towards funding their res, so that when they are alive again, they are broke.
Well, they still get to keep their equipment, so that's not that bad, so...
I mean, you guys can agree on whatever you want to agree on. I think John should have a vote in this. I know he doesn't have a character here, but from a metagame perspective, this should also be discussed.
No, I I mean, it sucks that your character has to die, but like, you're alive, you know?
Yeah, and from an RP standpoint, anyway, it just going with Coltane and Winter's characters, that's what I'm trying to roll with.
Actually, I'm going to ask a more practical question. Did Autumn actually recover her from her original death, like the penalties from her original death?
No, that's what's funny.
Because like, maybe someone should talk to Stefan about that, because then he's gonna accumulate -2, right?
No, it doesn't stack.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Not that talking to him about it would change anything. Hey, your character sucks more now.
Wow, you know, if he did suffer a -2, I'm pretty sure he would think that maybe it would be a better idea to just make a new character rather than resurrecting a character and making suffer like 2-level penalties.
Steven is immensely lazy. He would take a -5 penalty rather than make a new character.
Damn.
And we should go with what he wants, just to be fair. And especially if we didn't, then John would not even be doing anything this session.
Okay, so we throw in Autumn's 405 gold pieces. We're down to 572. That needs to be coughed up.
So we'll split that into 3. How much is that?
190 each.
Ah, that's not that
Yeah,
bad.
that sounds fair.
But as of now, each one of us, like, we own probably like 1/5 of Autumn.
That's terrible. If this is what we're going to be going with moving forward, that the person who dies has to fund their own res out of their, well, as much of it as they can out of their own pocket.
Why do you say that, though? Isn't it up to the roleplay each time?
Certain things, such as this, are better handled. Anything revolving money and loot is best handled in a metagame fashion. And this is to prevent greedy characters from accumulating wealth by role-playing. Oh, I'm just role-playing my greedy son of a bitch character to steal from my allies, and they're all broken. I'm super powerful.
Wait, can we do that?
You did that with Tari!
Oh, right! I did do that. Yeah, that was amazing. And then I turned evil.
Yeah, but then wouldn't that roleplay just result in the other characters turning against that character once they understand what was going on?
Oh, it pretty much did. I turned evil. It was the first and most glorious time that it ever occurred.
The point is, it breaks the game. And it's one of the... you've gotta kind of suck it up and accept that you can't handle everything in an in-game fashion. It's like...
Well, I understand what you're trying to get at.
a concession.
Like a chocolate bar?
What?
Isn't that what you get at a concession stand?
Dude, I don't think you know what you're talking about anymore.
I'm just making a play on words joke, but yeah, okay.
Anyways, I think that considering we're all a bunch of douchebag guys, I'm pretty sure we'd all be interested in like having ownership of 1/5 of like Autumn, so it works out that way.
Okay, I wasn't even talking about the ownership. That is, you know, whatever. I mean, with regards to having the person who dies pay for their own res, if you guys consider yourselves a party, then in combat, certain combat roles are more predestined to death than others. Meaning certain
Like me.
character types, meaning like not you.
Well, I'm the defender, aren't I the guy who's supposed to like take millions of hits?
But you're also the guy best built to sustain that kind of damage. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Whatever the case, the point is there definitely is people that have higher risks of dying. So is it fair that the people that have higher risks of dying from doing their job in battle have to pay more just to do their job?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at, and considering it, if we're not taking this from a role-playing point of view, I do now believe that we should not be leaving her broke. But she isn't necessarily more prone to death or anything. But we should probably chip in a little more, and you know, she should pay not she should. She will pay a little more, but we will also pay a little more.
That being said, if you want to have like exceptions for, you know, stupid deaths, like, oh, it's your own fault you died because you did something stupid, you know, that could be a different story. Again, I'm just bringing up things. You guys decide how you want to handle it. I'm just bringing up things based on past experience.
Okay,
We
wait.
should leave her with like 100 gold or something.
Okay, wait. We're using all of Zook's money. Are we selling all of Zook's item as well and like trying to sell off all of that?
She
getting
doesn't
that
have
money?
anything.
What? You mean Zook doesn't have anything?
Could we sell his body?
For medical experiments, I'm sure someone's gonna buy it.
I believe corpses were plentiful in ye olde medieval times.
Yeah, especially
Give it to
because
the
of me.
stable master so we could feed the horse.
No, he'll have a second little body.
Just to offer an argument for the flip side, you could say, well, Stephen was never going to use the money to buy anything anyway.
Dude, which side are you on? Are you on the pro or the against side? You're like playing both sides of the field now. So you're like shooting us left and right.
But that's my point. I don't have a side. I'm just bringing up things so that you guys make an informed decision. You don't just decide on this willy-nilly, and then when someone else dies and you try to do things differently, they say, hey, well, how come we did it that way the first time?
Alright. How about this, okay? Let's make it this way. We'll make whoever dies uses all of their currency, not like items, and to pay off their own whatchamacallit. But once they get back, let's say for the first few missions, when we get loot, all the coins, let's say instead of splitting in 5 immediately or 4 or whatever, we give that person 50% of the coins so that they can reaccumulate their gold faster, because during a mission you don't really need to buy anything, right? But after a mission, that's when you need to buy stuff. So they can accumulate 50% of the coins and the rest of us accumulate less. How about that? For like, let's say 3 missions or 3 encounters or whatever.
Or until their gold is more stable, as if like there's more equal to what everyone else's gold is like.
Yeah, we can play around the percentage. Well, we're like what? We're 5. We're 5, right? So we're 5. So well, let's say that person takes 60%, not even 50. They'll take 60, and then everyone else takes 10. And then after a few missions, that person is going to accumulate gold really fast, and they'll be back at the same level as us. Because during a mission, like right after they get revived, it's not like they have to go around and buy like 50 million things, right?
They just died. They need everything possible in the world.
Alright, well, whatever you guys decide on, just know that the onus of administrating this system will be entirely upon you guys. I will not have a hand in keeping track of any of that stuff.
I'll write a rule about it. Do you guys agree with this idea? 60% for the, well, let's say we're that many people. Then 60% goes to Autumn for the first few missions until her economy, well, not economy, her gold is stabilized. And then after that, we'll go back to the old school method.
Well, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, like what's the point though of doing that? Just why don't we just split it by 5 and just whatever, you know? Because like, if he's gonna reach the gold that everyone has eventually, there's no point to him
Well, this
forking
idea
out
is just,
that whole gold, all that gold.
it pops in
when he dies.
more if someone immediately needs to buy an item, right? So let's say like you immediately need an item that costs, let's say 500 gold. You already currently have 600 gold, and I don't know, you need, and you're asked to pay, let's say 250 gold. So you can get the item right now, or you can not get it right now and get it later. But let's say you really need it now, then it makes more sense, right?
Well, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I think we should just wait and talk with Steven and Nick. But I don't mind. Whatever.
That, as much as I hate to say it, that bonus gold in encounters does seem like a pretty fair idea. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they don't die again, though.
Okay, so for now, you just want to agree that she's spending every dime every gold piece she has. We'll let her keep her dimes, and you can work out the exact percentages of catch-up gold later on when more people are around.
Yeah. Well, I suggest 60 versus 10, 10, 10, since we're 5.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so you guys know how much you each have to spend. Go ahead and do so. That was 190
so 190
each.
from all of us.
And John, take care of Autumn and yeah, just Autumn.
Did I change it on Zook's page or no?
Not necessary. What are you guys gonna do with Zook?
Coltane suggests that we leave him at the temple for now and give him maybe a proper service after they finish out this keep.
All right. We're gonna gloss over the trip to Winterhaven, so you guys
Dude,
spend
you
the
don't-
night there.
Wait, isn't Zook a druid?
A dead druid, yes.
Wouldn't
Above?
it be even more funny if we leave him in the dungeon?
You mean like how you buried his paladin under the evil glowing circle, hoping he'd become a death knight?
Yeah. In this case, we're making a druid into a, you know, wannabe whatchamacallit.
If you bury me in the keep, put me with the slime.
Oh, yes! You can go back to nature. It'll eat you up.
I think it'd be more respectful if we did something respectful.
Okay, so Zook's body's left at the temple for now. You'll deal with him later. They're taking care of embalming the body or whatever so that it doesn't completely decompose horribly. You guys can all take extended rests.
Even Autumn, or?
Yeah. Autumn is resurrected. She's been through this before, so she still has the res sickness. Nothing new to her. Something something like being brought back from the dead is becoming mundane for Autumn. Okay, after resurrecting Autumn, what's the plan? Do you guys return to the keep?
That would probably be a good idea. We'll need to
visit the
take,
dwarf.
No, screw the dwarf.
Oh, by the way, because Sir Keegan destroyed Rekoj's shield, Rekoj had to go to the Dwarven blacksmith to buy a new shield.
Oh, how did that turn out?
Unfortunately, we glossed over it.
We agreed on telling him stuff.
Oh, shoot, did we?
Thanks for ruining everything, Doug.
I completely forgot. I can't even remember that, actually.
Okay, so you guys return to the keep. Do you go back down to level 2?
Yeah, we get Zook's body.
No, you already brought the body. The body of Zook is in Winterhaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we kind of took it when we took Autumn. There's no sense in doing 2 trips.
Alright, so we go back down to level 2. What is there in level 2? Other than the crazy trap thing.
Well, there's doors beyond the crazy trap thing, which 2 people died trying to open. Which I'm pretty sure would probably have a big fight in it, and we are a man down. And I really don't feel like having a fight today.
Is the trap completely disabled now?
Yes, I think.
Good.
So
Actually-
Coltane's gonna need to use up another sunrod.
Okay.
So where do you guys go?
Well, Coltane suggests not opening the doors, which are obviously protecting something either valuable or powerful, and he isn't quite in the mood for something powerful right now.
Is there anything etched on the door like "Do not open"? Seriously?
Nothing on this door, no.
Okay, well, Rekoj asks if there's another door we can open because we have to do something, right?
Out of curiosity, is John making a new character at some point?
John has made a new character. And you won't find out who that character is until you meet that character. And don't base any decisions on waiting for John's character to join you.
It's gonna be so bad if he's in a room and we never go to that room.
Actually, that would be freaking hilarious.
He starves to death.
This is hard because Nick knows so much more about what's going on than I do, and I'm playing his character. Winter asks, if there's anywhere on the first level that wasn't explored yet, which could be possibly explored while summoning up the courage to go through the other doors.
Is there another door upstairs or anywhere else? Because I'm not sure anymore.
You guys can return to the first level to find out.
Actually, you know what? Why don't we just... Coltane says...
Let's open the door.
Yeah, that's what he was gonna say.
Leroy!
Coltane says, well, I see the glorious leader is still semi-glorious.
Why are you guys stacking so far behind me?
Because that's how we roll. You said Leroy, so I assumed you were charging in, which would imply a greater distance between you and us.
I want life insurance policy.
No, man, you're role-playing. You said it, deal with it.
Good point.
Open those
Alright.
doors, baby.
Rekoj has his axe and thingy equipped, and then he bashes into the door and realizes it's a pull to open. Right?
Actually, he has his mace out right now.
What? What the hell is he doing with a mace?
It's one of the various weapons he holds.
That and his thingy. I usually hold on to my thingy in the privacy of my own home, but I guess Goliaths are different.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, I switched to the axe. Rekoj, confused as to why he's holding his mace, puts it away and takes out his battle axe. His trusty battle axe, that is.
Winter whispers to Coltane, I see that the glorious leader is having one of his personality switches. Coltane sighs and shakes his head. And he says to Winter, I guess I'm going to have to assume the role of leader again.
So, has Rekoj swung open the door yet?
Yeah. Is it a bash open door or is it a pull open door?
You push it open.
Excellent. I push it open.
As Rekoj opens the door, you're immediately greeted by the smell of rotting meat that pours out of this chamber. And though you can't see much of it, you do spot gnawed, partially eaten humanoid corpses strewn everywhere. And some of them are standing.
Zombies. Why did it have to be zombies?
Rekoj pulls the door closed again.
Nice.
Well, at least we know what's in there. Are there
ready?
Sorry. Are there like handles to push open, or is it just like a? There's a handle, right?
There are knobs, yes.
Oh, knobs. Oh, crap.
Or handles, it's just a word, right? Doorknob.
Well, no, because I was thinking if it's something that I could like put a piece of wooden stick across, then it would like kind of lock the door, no?
Okay, it's that, yes. You can put a wooden stick across it.
Yay!
Do you
I'll
have
put
a
my
wooden stick?
Dude,
Actually,
I got...
well, I don't know if you can put a stick across it, but like with the others, you over here where I'm pointing, you had just tied them shut with rope. Though I'm not really sure why you want to do this.
Well, I don't know.
I think
Maybe
it's more of
zombies
a-
know how to Maybe zombies know how to open doors. I don't know.
No, but why do you want to lock this door shut? Is your plan to just leave Shadowfell Keep now? Satisfied that you've done your job?
He's keeping it shut while we prepare ourselves for a fight.
Yeah, that was the idea. Cause you know us, we usually we like to like, take our time and decide to what we're gonna do next.
Really? That doesn't happen in this campaign.
Well, it happens when Doug and I are in charge of things.
I can guarantee you,
glorious
you're gonna
leader.
spend more time locking this door shut than coming up with a plan.
Fair enough.
We fought zombies before, right?
Yeah, we did.
Well, we being not Wintier, but the others, yeah.
But there was a session I was not at, Nick was telling me about, where people were throwing their kidneys and stuff at us. Were those zombies?
What?
Oh, right, okay, well... Okay, so yes, then sure, you have fought zombies before.
Would I recognize the things in this room, because I think I did see one, to be the same as the ones we fought before?
It's hard to tell. I mean, a rotting corpse is a rotting corpse, right?
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, Wintier is feeling ballsy. He wants to fight something to avenge Zook's death. And he readies a twin strike. And he says, let's do it.
Very, courageous of you. Staying behind and shooting arrows. Rekoj asks, Coltane for the sunrod. So I'll tell you exactly what I want Rekoj to do. What I'd like to do is push open the door. Hopefully, if there's nothing, like, you know, right across the door and, like, bashes into a freaking zombie, I'd like to open the door, take one step in with the sunrod so I can see everything, take a look around, like, 180 degrees, see how many zombies there are, and then close back the door. Can I do that?
Sure.
Just trying to get a tactical sense of the situation.
You do know that a surprise round is one action, right?
Well, I do pull out immediately after. And hell, if it was a surprise round, it would have been the last round when I actually opened the door and it's like, oh, hey, there's a dead zombie. What's up? And then I close the door.
I'm just making sure you're aware of the rule.
What's the surprise round?
The enemies are flat-footed and you get one action.
So a surprise round in a non-mechanical sense is if you are aware of the enemies before they're aware of you, you get a surprise round. It's before actual combat starts to perform one action before the other guys get to roll initiative.
Anyways, if there are lots of zombies in that room, my plan would revolve around the idea of bottlenecking them at these two doors anyways. So it would be them coming to us and not us going to them. So.
But theoretically, if we're going to bottleneck them anyway, we don't need to have you jump in and possibly spring a trap.
Yeah, but I would really like to see how many there are. Because last time we fought zombies, there was like 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah. Alright. Coltane gives in to the glorious leader and hands him his sunrod.
Alright.
How is Rekoj holding this sunrod?
Well, since he has to open the door, he'll be like quick to close the door as well. He's gonna put away his battle axe for now, and he's gonna hold a sunrod for it in his hand. Remember, if he opens the door and he sees like a zombie or like 5 inches in front of his face, he's gonna close. He's not even bothered like walking into the room.
And at this time, Coltane goes and stands at the other door.
Good idea.
Autumn might want to get a little closer.
Autumn's playing it safe, 40 feet away from the door. She's learned her lesson.
What was it that George Bush said? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Something, you can't fool me twice or something. It was in the Fahrenheit 9/11 movie.
Yeah.
The quote is...
Fool me twice, shame on me. Oh wait, no, that's the classic thing.
No, it's there's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't fool me again."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's epic fail there.
During this surprise attack, would Winter be allowed to shoot a zombie if he sees it, even while Rekoj is doing his in and out?
I think so, but CJ will have to confirm the mechanics on that.
Yeah, okay, let's have the 4 of you roll initiative.
Is there a +2 because of Nick, I think? His presence?
Yes.
Oh, there's a +2? So I have, Rekoj rolls 19 then.
Winter rolls 15, and Coltane rolls 13.
While John is at the bathroom, Dave, roll for Autumn.
And Autumn rolls 11.
Okay, Rekoj, go ahead.
So I do what I say I do, so I have the, whatchamacallit in my hand. I push open the door, see that there's no zombie in the immediate, like, 2 centimeter in front of my face. Rekoj takes 1 step in.
And that's your surprise, you can't step back out. As the zombies now seem to become aware.
Oh, snap crap. So Rekoj notices a bunch of zombies, and he says 4 close zombies to the group, like including one right next to him almost, and he sees at least 2 more farther out. Yeah, so Rekoj says 4 zombies close, 2 farther out.
You could now back into the room if you wanted.
Nope, that's a surprise round action. Moving into the room. Winter's up.
But
One action.
wouldn't a free action be able to make a move?
No, a move is a move action, not a free action.
Oh, okay. I thought like they were. You could turn your free action into a move action.
No, not at all. No. The order is standard action,
Standard
action.
action.
minor action, free action. And regardless, you only have one action. Whether it's a standard, a minor, or a move, you only have one. Free actions are like talking, like stuff that doesn't even count as an action.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just still learning the ropes. I apologize. Winter can only see one zombie, so he marks it as his quarry and attacks it with a twin strike.
Attaboy.
Oh, actually, Winter marks his quarry as a minor action. The end.
Right.
Coltane.
Coltane does nothing.
Autumn.
Autumn's does nothing.
And Rekoj noticed the immediate difference. The moment he stepped in, the zombies right away started turning towards him. And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Fracking zombies.